Hello, welcome to this update for the Atlantic. So we have tropical storm Sara now in the Caribbean. There was an upgrade to a tropical storm less than 2 hours ago. So it's there just off of Honduras and Nicaragua. Uh, there's the track there. It was designated yesterday as a tropical depression. So it's forecast to pass right by northern Honduras, maybe going to Belize and the Yucatan, and they have it now as a tropical depression emerging into the Gulf there. So uh, this not now this is not expected to be like a crazy hurricane towards Cuba or Florida anymore. This is more like a threat towards Central America in terms of rainfall. But we still might have to monitor this if this gets into the Gulf there. But let's see here. The greatest threat is the rainfall that this might cause over northern Honduras. They currently have 20 inches plus locally, like 500 millimeters plus, between 400 500 millimeters. In the red zones, so like 300 to 400 millimeters. Northeastern Nicaragua, but especially Honduras, more than 500 millimeters. So please stay safe there. Let's see what they say. So through early next week, heavy rainfall will cause significant life-threatening flash flooding and mudslides across portions of Central America, particularly Honduras, Belize, and El Salvador, and eastern Guatemala and Nicaragua. Tropical storm conditions expected along parts of the northern coast of Honduras and adjacent Bay Islands, where tropical storm warnings are in effect. And the season's forecast to approach Belize and the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico, by early next week, where there's a risk of strong winds. Residents in those areas should monitor the forecast uh, a lot for updates and stay safe. It's too soon to determine what impacts, if any, the system could bring portions of the Gulf, including Florida and some other areas. But residents those areas should just monitor for updates regularly for any changes in the forecast. But let's see in Spanish too. Hasta principios de la próxima semana, las fuertes lluvias causarán inundaciones y deslizamientos de tierra significativos que amenazan la vida a través de porciones de América Central, particularmente en Honduras, Belize y El Salvador, y Guatemala y oeste de Nicaragua y norte de Nicaragua también. Se esperan condiciones de tormenta tropical a lo largo de las porciones de la costa norte de Honduras, las islas de la bahía adyacentes, donde hay avisos de tormenta tropical en efecto. Se pronostica que el sistema acerca de Belice, en la península de Yucatán de México, para principios de la próxima semana, donde hay un riesgo de vientos fuertes. Los residentes en estas áreas deben monitorar las últimas actualizaciones del pronóstico. Es demasiado pronto para determinar qué impactos, si los hay, el sistema podría traer porciones del este del Golfo de México, incluyendo Florida, y durante la porción esta media próxima semana, los residentes en esta área deben monitorar regularmente las actualizaciones al pronóstico. Good, so please stay safe there. They have the tropical storm warnings in Honduras. So, yes, tropical storm watch northeastern Nicaragua and some areas. So please be careful there. Let's see the current information. So there's already a lot of heavy rainfall there, and especially in Honduras already. So the hurricane models and some global models generally take this right for northern Honduras into Belize and affecting the Yucatan too. Might leave some heavy rain in northern Guatemala and Mexico, but some models does show this curving towards the Gulf there after it passes by the Yucatan. There the GFS ensemble still passing right through the Yucatan there and northern Honduras, and they are still curving towards Florida, the GFS. Most ones are very weak, but there's still a member or two that shows stronger. There's the Canadian ensembles showing right into Belize there, northern Honduras, and passes through the Yucatan, but it's more spread out, the Canadian, showing their northern to eastern Gulf. So yeah, we'll monitor there. There's like here uh, the European ensembles. It does show uh, generally northern Honduras, Belize, and the Yucatan, and the European ones does have this curve in the Gulf towards Florida or something. Some members have tropical storm strength, but most just a weak storm or depression northern to eastern Gulf. So yeah, be aware. They're the GFS members. Some members here still show like a little bit stronger to eastern and to the eastern Gulf and like southwestern Florida, but most further north just show a weak storm. So we'll monitor this very, very closely. If you are there, monitor for updates. But now, please just stay safe with the heavy rains Central America. So there's the GFS operational. It's there now in Central America. Stays there November 16, 17, passes by the Yucatan, and the GFS barely has anything into the Gulf. It has like uh, a sloppy system, maybe becoming a storm again before Florida, but then just going there. So it doesn't have any crazy hurricane or anything there. There's the European. This goes there, lingers a lot in Honduras and those areas, goes in the Yucatan, loses a lot of its structure, but it gets caught into that front in the Gulf. So yeah, it's not showing like a major tropical cycle or anything. Shows a sloppy system with more rainfall there and more fronts later. So yeah, there's the Canadian model too. Does show this in Central America there. This goes and then dissipates a lot in the Yucatan, but might try to re-emerge again in the Gulf, but very disorganized because it's got to that front there. But even if this doesn't like uh, reform into anything big, just be aware that there'll be more rain and stuff. So the icon has like a big tropical storm heading to Belize there, crossing the Yucatan, getting very messy, and maybe just a tiny rainmaker or big rainmaker for parts of the southeast there around November 19th and the 20th. So yeah, the models aren't too excited from this, but this might change. We better keep monitoring. There's the HRF, the hurricane model, goes there throughout northern Honduras, some very heavy rain. This goes into Belize as a tropical storm, some heavy rain there too in northern Guatemala, but this loses a lot of its moisture from the Yucatan. The HRF doesn't go further out, but does show still like a weak low pressure entering the Gulf again there. There's the HEFS B, shows this there into Honduras and Belize, and might affect parts of Mexico, Guatemala, but this goes into the Gulf. The HEFS B still has more moisture around with it, but it doesn't go further out as well. And the HEFS A has like the system Honduras there. This goes and has right to central Belize there as a tropical storm and kind of re-emerges still almost tropical storm strength in the Gulf still. So the HEFS A is a little bit more stronger maybe. The H1 is like there Honduras, and then in Belize is a weak storm, but the H1 does re-emerge this as a tropical storm in the southwestern Gulf or something. So we will monitor this depending on the position of that front and how strong it goes into the Gulf. This might be different. So yeah, but in terms of the rainfall, the European model, I'll just put this until like Saturday first to see, because the worst of the rainfall like today and tomorrow and is over Honduras there, close to 400 millimeters, 440, 418, some spots close to 477 millimeters. So please stay safe. Most like 80% of Honduras will get very heavy rain from this, more than 100 millimeters in most of Honduras. Expect except some like westernmost areas, and most of northern Nicaragua will get hit harder to western northern Nicaragua. but especially those spots in northern Honduras in the next 2 days already. So this is more than 400 millimeters the next 2 days. So please stay safe there. Now if I put this until next Tuesday, the 19th, already shows the heavy rain spreading south towards El Salvador, Nicaragua, and those areas. So in the next 5 days, has more than 300 millimeters parts of southern Honduras too, and like in El Salvador, more than 200 millimeters, southern El Salvador, in some areas there, even close to 300. So please be careful. Northeastern El Salvador a little bit less, but southern Guatemala some spots with more, and especially in Nicaragua shows some spots all the way to 335 millimeters. Most northern western Nicaragua will be harder hit, especially northwestern Nicaragua. So stay safe there. Be careful with flooding, landslides, and until the next 5 days, the total rainfall the Europeans like 562 in Honduras there, 545. So please stay safe in those areas. I see there like some rivers and mountains. Be careful with mudslides, landslides, and river flooding and everything. So please stay safe. And also in Costa Rica, more than 100 millimeters in the next 5 days, 222. So be careful with some heavier downpours and maybe some flooding there too, as well as western Panama, some areas there. So be careful. And the GFS has some spots in Costa Rica and Panama, close to 233 millimeters in Panama, 240 millimeters, Costa Rica some 205. So be careful there, some heavier downpours. It does have in western Nicaragua some 200 millimeters, in some areas 189, but the GFS has the worst like northern Honduras, right in those areas like 460 to 469 millimeters. Northern Honduras, most of central northern Honduras more than 100 millimeters. So please stay safe. In northeastern Nicaragua, Guatemala, which is more than 200 millimeters in that part of Guatemala in the Caribbean there. So please be careful. Most of northern Guatemala, more than 200 millimeters. Nestes goes into Belize, shows more than 300 millimeters in Belize there, especially central southern Belize. Northern Belize and the Yucatan might get some hard hits too, more than 100 millimeters in the Yucatan, but right where this makes landfall, central to southern Belize, you get a lot. The European has more scared, as more than 150 millimeters, some parts of northern Nicaragua, Guatemala, but it does have more the coast of Belize there, 200 millimeters in the Yucatan. So please be careful. The icon has this going right to central Belize there, some 263 millimeters, 300 in a part or two of Guatemala, 296. So please be careful. And then it shows like northeastern Guatemala, more than 147 millimeters, and in the icon northern Honduras is like 200 in some areas, 400, but right at the northernmost tips of the coast, the icon is all the way to 700 millimeters in those areas there. So this is a possibility too. I think this might be too much, but it's definitely a possibility, depending on how much time it stays there and everything. So please be careful. It's showing some islands there, all the way to 900 millimeters, Utila and those areas around that island. So this will cause some catastrophic flooding there. So please stay safe. The European just has 200 millimeters there, and the GFS is around 400, 500 there. But just like 200 to 500 would already cause some life-threatening flooding as well. Please stay safe around Belize City, show like 200, 100 to 200 millimeters in Belize City and other areas. So please stay safe there. This is very dangerous. There's the Canadian model too. It has like northeastern Guatemala in the Caribbean and northwestern Honduras. It does have more than 400 millimeters, 300 to almost 400 in northern Honduras, but more like northwestern Honduras there into Guatemala. So please be careful. Life-threatening flash flooding there. It does have those 150 to 200 millimeters central Belize into northern Guatemala, the Yucatan more than 100, but the Canadian has also this area from El Salvador to Nicaragua. It's like more than 300 millimeters throughout the coast of El Salvador and some interior areas, in southern Honduras and Nicaragua does have like 300 millimeters and something too. So that's a possibility too. But please just stay on high alert for heavy rain and flooding. in all of those areas of Honduras, parts of Nicaragua, Guatemala, and Belize, in those areas. So please be careful, stay safe from flooding, have a plan to stay safe, and be careful. Let's see if there's any other model that might be useful. There's this one. It does show like 200 to 300 millimeters in northern Honduras in some areas. Yeah, similar thing. So please stay safe there. This is very serious. And the GFS, yeah, they are similar. Basically, the heavy rain in all of those areas. So stay safe there. The wind gusts. So this is the European. It has some weaker winds. It does have some stronger gusts. Southern Mexico. So be aware in some mountains of southern Mexico there. This is Thursday. This goes there. It doesn't show anything that crazy, but does show like some 52 km per gusts, especially in the islands more than 60 km per gusts. This goes there. When this goes into Belize, might be a little bit stronger near the Yucatan, the gusts. Like the GFS has a similar thing too, around near the coastal Belize, some 60 km per gust, and the icon is stronger. The icon is a part of northern Honduras, other to 80 km per gust there. And if the strength is more, that's definitely a possibility. The icon doing like Saturday the 16th is all the way to like 83 to almost 90 km per gust, those waters there. Then this goes, and the icons some stronger gusts in Belize too, and especially on the coast there. So be careful as well. Now let's see the rainfall. In other areas like the Cayman Islands and other areas, that shows like 93, some 80 millimeters, the Cayman Islands. So still some more showers and storms there. Shows in Jamaica some showers, a storm or two, especially near like western Jamaica and eastern Jamaica. Shows more in the Dominican Republic, some central spots there in the mountains, close to 42 millimeters. Might be some more thunderstorms. Haiti, a storm or two, in eastern Cuba still. And yeah, the Bahamas and Cuba showing more quiet, but be aware eastern Cuba and the Greater Antilles there, Puerto Rico and those areas, especially like the Virgin Islands and some areas close to 50 millimeters, Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla, and some other areas close to 40 millimeters, but just some passing showers and storms. Nothing that crazy, but just be aware during thunderstorms, some 17, 8 millimeters, some more near Barbados, 19 millimeters, and more like Trinidad and Tobago, some more storms and showers. So now, for example, we have a storm or two in Venezuela, in Guyana, near Trinidad, a finger or two near the Virgin Islands, and shows the big system there, like alright in northern Honduras, some very heavy rain. And also in the Cayman Islands, a bunch of storms there near Georgetown, so be careful in those areas. And here, like, let's see if there's something else. There's the tropical storm force winds there, probabilities near northern Honduras especially. Be careful there. And Belize, and a tiny probability or two in the Gulf there. The 50 knot wind probabilities, that there are some probabilities there in northern Honduras, like 58 mile per hour. And in hurricane, still nothing. So this just expected to be a tropical storm there. And let's see, next 7 days doesn't show anything else that crazy. On the Eastern Pacific, still nothing, and Central Pacific kind of quiet. So yeah, be aware. And now for like some other areas, let's see here. Just there's anything else in the models again, they might be important. So models, there's like, yeah, because I showed you before, most of them have a weaker system there into Florida, like a storm or just a front, but we'll monitor these for updates the coming days, and there's something new we'll share here. But here, like, there's Sara there, and let's see if there's like some spaghetti and stuff. I showed you this before. These are the hurricane models. They go right into Belize there in the Gulf, and there's the spaghetti map too. Some try to just curve the remnants of this north, and most of them go towards Florida later. And in terms of like shear and stuff there, uh, we still have some shear in the US and the Gulf, but it's generally very favorable there near Central America, but still some shear in the Gulf there. So we'll take a look at that in a moment. And there's like still very warm waters where this is at, some 29 right near Honduras, some 29 degrees and to 30 degrees Celsius near Belize there. And the ocean heat content is very high, especially near Cuba, but this will be just going towards like Belize and Central America, shows 125 to a spot or to 150 ocean heat content. So yeah, be aware. Now the European model or the GFS, here the GFS for wind shear. So does show the stronger shear in the Gulf, but then the storm goes, shows less shear near the Yucatan where this will exit, but that front will come and make more shear and kick this off fast later. So yeah, uh, so please stay safe there with this rainfall. This is very dangerous. Please stay safe. And also in Guatemala, some parts of Mexico near the Yucatan might be some heavy rain. And please stay safe in Honduras. This is very serious. And yeah, so